Hi, my name is Devin Dukes, and today I will be presenting a slide on the transition between physical and digital media. To start off, let's talk about the advancing technologies of digital media. In the past century, we've seen a rise in the advancement of technology, which has brought different digital devices as well as different methods of digital consumption to society. These devices have seen a rapid growth in technology and customability, and as with each passing year, we see an improvement and an expansion of these devices that overall make them superior to past technology. By looking at this timeline, we can see the rapid advancement and growth of technology and how that could impact society. In 1969, we see that the first hard drive was created. I'm sorry, not 1969, 1959, the first hard drive was created. In 1969, ARPANET, or the precursor of the Internet, was created. Later on, we see the first mobile device was created in 1973. In 1979, the first compact cassette tape was created. In 1977, 2 years before the first compact cassette tape, we see the Apple first personal computer was created. If we just look a little bit further on, the World Wide Web was created in 1990, Facebook 2004, and the first iPhone smartphone created in 2007, only 30 years after that first Apple personal computer. Next, we're going to be looking at digital media consumption. So as technology has advanced and has made it easier for us to consume digital media, we look at digital devices and how they have sprouted global interest overall. Computers, smartphones, other digital devices, TV, and other smart devices have seen rapid growth and rapid integration within households. New forms of digital media are created every day as a way to modify and improve these devices. One of the most popular forms of digital media currently is digital streaming, which uses the internet and a smart device in order to instantly watch movies, listen to videos, read books instantly. One of the most popular forms of digital streaming, Netflix, is a video streaming company. Within the past 10 years, they've expanded in popularity, their stock nearly tripling in value. And in 2018, Netflix reported over 117.6 million subscribers in their service. We also see a rapid growth of smartphones. This data was created by the Pew Institute Research Center. The graph on the right illustrates the rapid growth in popularity of smartphones from 2002 to 2018. We can see a steady decline within those years, and we can actually see that within the past 2 years, it has almost peaked and flatlined. This is due to the fact that the increase is so small compared to the past 2 years. However, it still is at 95%, with over 95% of households in the United States owning a cell phone, and over 60% of households in the United States owning a smartphone. Next, we can look at the appeal of digital media. What is it that makes digital media so popular and so ideal for consumers that physical media is having trouble keeping up? Digital media devices such as smartphones, televisions, and personal computers are utilized by millions every day. These devices provide their user with a wide variety of functions and easy-to-use platforms for digital media consumption. These devices provide a high level of convenience too, whereas physical media is normally based on a certain amount of time. For instance, if you were going to listen to some news, you could either possibly go on the radio and hope that there's a news channel on, or you could go and wait for the early morning or the nightly news. However, with a smartphone or a personal computer, you can instantly find news. Other forms of music listening, such as CDs, records, cassettes, need to be physically with you at all times. and they provide limited function or variety. Whereas a phone can look up multiple different forms of music and multiple listening experiences. Another benefit of digital devices is their portability. Smartphones, laptops, and other devices are very portable, whereas carrying multiple cassettes, multiple records, multiple books around can be tasking. To look at how far we've come between physical and digital media, the physical form of a phone or a 1980s landline was simply a phone that provided communication through very varying distances. However, the modern day cell phone not only is a phone but offers over 10 forms of communication, including text and video, chat. It also has a GPS in it, a built-in MP3 player, camera, customizable applications for personal experience. It has a flashlight and multiple other functions in it. The decline of physical media. As we begin to see the cultural rise and popularity of digital media, there is a decrease in popularity for physical media. While digital media is currently on the rise, more traditional forms of physical media are on the decline. Physical media such as newspapers, records, CDs, film reels, and even books are utilized less with each passing year. Digital media's accessibility, convenience, and huge selection of information surpasses the limits and limited information and accessibility of physical media. Newspapers, CDs, and books are now available on demand, unlike their physical counterparts. The decline of newspaper printing. So as you can see by this graph, also created by the Pew Research Center, it illustrates the newspaper decline in circulation since 1940. And as you can see, over the past 60 years or so, there has been a steady rise in revenue and circulation for both Sunday and weekday newspapers. However, within 1990, we see a slow, steady decline of circulation and revenue. Interesting fact, 1990 was around the time that the internet was first created. So we can see where that might have affected the sales of newspapers, the newspaper industry. I would also like to point out that this break in line right here within the past year is merely a speculation created by the Pew Institute of what is likely to happen within the next 2 years. Next, we can see a music revenue sales graph. This graph was created by me. I used it using the RIAA data from 2005 to 2017. The music revenue industry does a great job at documenting and creating reports every year of the overall sales and how the different sales correlate to each other, and whether digital sales is producing more than physical sales, etc. So what I did was I took a look at 3 dates within the past 15 years, 2005, 2010, and 2017, and I saw how physical and digital data sales were for those years. So, 2005, we see that physical data, represented by the dark blue, nearly comprises all revenue for 2005, with digital media, which is represented by a light blue, only maybe representing 5% of the overall sales. We also see an other category. This is meant to represent different forms of revenue, such as advertising or something such as tax revenue, something like that. Next, we see 5 years later, in 2010, physical media has decreased, and digital media has more than tripled its overall revenue size. We see that 7 years later, digital media is now comprising over half of the overall revenue produced every year in the music industry. Digital downloads and digital streaming have become so popular within the last 6 years, and it has clearly affected how physical media is treated within the music industry. However, while I've mentioned that physical media such as CDs, albums, and newspapers are on the decline, physical media is still being used today. These industries such as books, newspapers, and other forms of physical media are still multi-million-dollar functions. And actually, there's been a lot of people nowadays that are supporting these forms of physical media. They believe that they provide a certain quality that digital media can't. Many music listeners prefer albums and CDs for forms of music and believe that digital media and digital streaming music is compressed and has an inferior quality. Others prefer the physical forms of books and reading an actual book rather than the digital form, to saying that it could cause eye stress or overall just prefer the feel of an actual book. So to summarize, the advancements in technology have provided a platform of digital media through the production of and advancement of digital devices. It's through these devices that digital media is consumed by millions every day, and as we see a consumption in digital media, we see a large production of smartphones, televisions, and personal computers. However, while digital media has caused the utilization of traditional forms of physical media to decline significantly, the act of physical media consumption is not dead. Many prefer traditional methods of physical media and believe that the quality of music, video, and communication is superior. To summarize, the overall impact that digital media has been significant, and while physical media is on a decline, it is not dead yet.